Hello everyone, I hope you are doing great. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to learn another very useful utility you will use quite often while building real world websites. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the content inside a box becomes too large for the available space? In that situation, should the content come outside the box? Should it be hidden or should a scroll bar appear? Bootstrap gives us a very simple solution for all these situations using overflow utilities. So let's understand how they work. Open VS Code. I have already created simple example. Throughout this video, we are not going to change the HTML structure. We will simply add or replace Bootstrap classes and observe how the output changes. Here, the code. Before adding any Bootstrap overflow class, let's first see the default behavior. I will save the file and see output. Now notice the output carefully. Our container has a fixed width and height, but the content is much larger than the available space. As you can see, the content is overflowing outside the container. In the real project, this usually doesn't look good and can ever break the layout. So, how can we control this behavior? That exactly where Bootstrap overflow utilities help us. Let's start with overflow auto. Save the file. Notice the difference. Instead of allowing the content to overflow, Bootstrap automatically adds scroll bars because the content is larger than the container. If the content becomes smaller later, those scroll bars disappear automatically. That's why this class is called Overflow Auto. If only show scroll bar when they are actually needed. You will commonly use this class for long content, tables, cards, sidebars, or chat sections where user need to scroll only when necessary. Now, let's replace the class with overflow hidden. Save the file. Now look at the output. The content hasn't been removed. It's still present inside the HTML. Bootstrap is simply hiding the part that doesn't fit inside the container. No scroll bar is displayed. This utility is useful when you want to keep your UI clean and prevent extra content from breaking your layout. Next, it's replace it with overflow-visible. Save the file. Now the content is allowed to come outside the container again. Nothing is hidden. No scroll bar appears. This is actually the browser's default behavior. Use this class only when you intentionally want the overflowing content to remain visible. Otherwise, it may affect your page layout. Let's replace the class with overflow scroll. Save the file. Now notice something interesting. Bootstrap always display the scroll bar. Even the content fit perfectly inside the container, the scroll bar remain visible. This is the main difference between overflow auto and overflow scroll. Use this class when you always want the scroll bar to remain visible for a consistent user interface. Before we finish, let's quickly revise all four overflow utility classes. Overflow auto shows scroll bar only when needed. Overflow hidden hides the overflowing content. Overflow visible allows content to overflow outside the container. Overflow scroll always displays scroll bars. So with just one Bootstrap class, we completely change the behavior or the same HTML without writing any custom CSS. That's one of the biggest advantage of Bootstrap utility classes. And that's all about Bootstrap 5 Overflow Utilities. I recommend trying each of these classes yourself and comparing the output. The more you practice, the easier it becomes to remember when to use each utility. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the upcoming videos in this Bootstrap 5 complete course. Thank you so much for watching.